Hello and welcome to StratoCast, a Battletech podcast for showing people different tools for playing the game. And we're looking today at MegaMekLab, and we've run a series of building different mechs and different technology levels, and we're going to look at building a clan OmniMech using clan technology in MegaMekLab. And we're going to take our Springbok, which was made in the era of the Star League, the first one, and were then taken away during the Great Exodus by Kerensky, and then eventually upgraded to an OmniMech design. So we're going to keep the tonnage the same as a 40-tonner, and we're going to go through and we're going to kind of take this kind of evolution and to make it the SPRO, or the SPR OmniMech. And we're going to change the tech base here to clan, and we're going to make the tech level here advanced. We're going to give ourselves access to everything here, and we're going to set the tech level here as 3067. So the Springbok clan based OmniMech. You can also make OmniMechs that are designed to be inner sphere OmniMechs as well. So we're going to click Omni, which gives us some different options here. And you can already see that our base type movement stays the same. We're still bipedal. Our structure, we're going to have ender steel. It's changed it because when we've got clan ender steel, so clan ender steel here is only taking 7 or 5 extra criticals rather than the 7 criticals rather than the 14 criticals of inner sphere. And we've also going to have our engine. It's going to keep it as an XL clan engine because Clanners love their XL engines. And we're going to have the gyro here, keep that as a standard gyro, and the cockpit as a standard cockpit. So that's our basic ideas. We're going to set our heat sinks to clan double heat sinks because very few clan mechs use single heat sinks. Very few though, very older designs that tend to be more not frontline. We've got 10 heat sinks we're going to have here. We're going to keep the jumps the same. We've got improved jump jets as well. Although interestingly, we could look at what tech base they are. Can't remember if improved jump jets really are available to clans or not. But since we're doing this as clan, they might be. But it's worth checking. Again, those sort of tech things, they're worth checking in the tech manual because it will tell you, or in TAC Ops, I think jump jets are from improved jump jets. And we go to the equipment bay here. So equipment's done slightly differently for the OmniMechs. We have to really think about the pod space, how much pod space you're going to have. So pod space is basically an idea of how many tons of equipment things are fixed and how many tons of equipment are going to be interchangeable. So for instance, we could say that the jump jets are integral to the chassis and are not pod space. So we can take our heat sinks. Now for our heat sinks, for some reason it's not giving us the 3 heat sinks on the clan double heat sinks. I'm not sure why. That's an interesting one. Seems to be a little bit of a flaw here. So we've got, unless I'm missing something in the rules. Now we've got the base Omni ones here. So if we, these are the base heat sinks. So we've got to put these in the base Omni design. Okay, so these are the ones that can't be interchanged. You can add more heat sinks in different OmniMech configurations. So now we go to equipment here. Assign criticals, and we've just got 1 heat sink. We can put our jump jets in here. So we've got our jump jet fixed. So we have to have 2 jump jets in the center also. You can't avoid that. And you've got these, and it says pod. So this means that this is a omnipod. so these jump jets can be removed. You can change these to a fixed mount, so these jump jets, for instance, we could say these can't be moved, so let's change that. So these are going to be changed to fixed, so all of this is built into the chassis. The omnipods here then, and the double heatsink as well, we're going to put this somewhere, so we'll put the double heatsink over here, and that's fixed because it's on the engine, so it can't be added or subtracted. We've got the structure is Indo steel. We're going to go up to ferrofibrous because we can afford it on this. Okay, invalid design. Why is it an invalid design? Assign criticals. Doesn't say why it's a invalid design. That's because we haven't allocated all the armor. There we go. So now we've got additional armor. And again, you can fiddle around with the armor. Give it more on the CT maybe. So again, we can up the armor to a maximum of 7.5 in this case, which is the equivalent of 9 tons, and allocate the armor. And there we go. Again, we can mess around with those armor ratings and change them around. And that's our basic chassis, and now we can add our omnipod for our prime configuration. So this is going to be the Springbok Prime, we're going to call this. And we then want to go to our equipment and start adding in. So we're going to go for clan-based medium pulse lasers. So we're going to keep the idea of this jumping mech, and we're going to go and say, because this is clan technology now, all of these weapons now are the clan variants. You can see there that it says base clan, and we're going to go and have medium pulse lasers. We're going to have 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to swap the SRMs for something a bit more clan-like. We're going to go for the ATM launchers. So, if you're wondering what T is, by the way, T is torpedoes. So you can actually have torpedoes, underwater missiles. We're going to have an ATM-6, which is actually quite big, because an ATM-3 is like the equivalent space-wise as an SRM. As an SRM-6 for crit-wise. So, and weight. So that's actually going to be, an ATM-6 is going to be quite big. It's 3.5 tons. So I'm going to add that in. Let's check how we're doing. So we've got 4 tons left. We're going to add a couple of tons of ammo. Ammo is important for ATMs because ATMs can use different types of ammo. So it's quite a good idea to have different types. So we can go to ammo, and we're going to have 1 loadout of high explosive and 1 loadout of standard ATMs. So that takes up 2 more tons. We've got 2 tons left, and we're still invalid because we haven't assigned to criticals. And I think we're going to go back for the small. Going to remove that actually. Going to go back for the small pulse laser. So, because we want to keep that idea, there we go, small pulse laser. That gives us another 1 ton. And what's the last thing we want with 1 ton? Let's assign everything and have a think about that. Let's see our heat load. So our medium pulse lasers are here. 1, 2. We're going to put our small pulse laser in the head. And we're going to have our ATM launcher in the left torso. And we're going to have the ammo in the left torso as well. We don't need to worry about case because it's an OmniMech, so all of the locations are cased that need to be cased. And that's all of our equipment loaded. So we've got 1 ton left. What do we want? Maybe an anti-missile system would be good. So we've got anti-missile system here. What's our heat? Our heat's 28, so we could add another couple of heat sinks, but clan mechs like running hot. So medium pulse lasers are going to be 4 heat. So that's like 16 heat plus jumping 6 plus our ATM. So it's going to be a bit of heat there. We could pop in a couple more heat sinks. We've got enough space here if we wanted to. Or we can go down the equipment and see if we can add anything else particularly interesting. So let's go to other. We've got an anti-missile system, so we can go for anti-missile system. We don't need Artemis or case because we've already got that. We'll go for a tag. It's not very clan-like. We can add a tag in here. We can add a targeting computer. Now that's going to be fun. So let's add that. This is what I would call maximum cheese. So what happens when we add the targeting computer? 1 extra ton. Right, so the targeting computer costs 2 tons because the targeting computer's weight is based on the number of weapon systems that can use it. So these 4 medium pulse lasers can use the targeting computer. So let's drop the armor to 6 tons of ferrofibrous and assign the targeting computer to torso location. There we go. And just move the jump jets around. So it's nice and neat. There we go. So we have got now a clan OmniMech, a 40-ton OmniMech. That's a 696. It's got endosteel, an XL engine. It's got a standard gyrostatic cockpit. We could also add mask in there. Not triple strength monomer because clans don't have that. We've got 9 heat sinks, which are based on the based on the OmniMech, which is on the chassis, and 1 extra heat sink there, which is again part of the basic 10. So the basic 10 can't be part of pod space; they have to be integrated. And then for pod space, well, it doesn't say it here. The pod space is going to be all of the equipment here, which is not. So all of the equipment here, so 1, 2, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11.5, 12.5, 13.5, 14.5, 15, 16.5. So it's got 16.5 tons of pod space. I don't think anywhere does it tell you the amount of pod space. No. One disadvantage, I guess, of this, it doesn't automatically tell you the amount of pod space. But the idea of clan OmniMechs is everything stays the same except for the things that are mounted in pods. So these are the pods. You could make the decision that those things weren't mounted in pods. There is a maximum, I think, of pods that, I can't remember what the ruling is, but there's a maximum amount of pod space depending on the mech you're running you can add. So that's our clan mech, and I think it's a really, really nasty version because it can jump in there, open up with its 4 medium pulse lasers, and it's -1 to hit because of its targeting computer. That's -3, so literally it cancels out the +3 for jumping. And it's got an ATM which it can whap you with high explosive rounds, which do 3 damage per missile that hits. So I think this is a really nasty build. It is quite lightly armoured. Let's shuffle the armour. There we go. So give it more on the centre torso, less on the left and right torsos. And then it's got its weapons in the arms, which is quite common. And those arm weapons then can fire left or right, depending on the situation it's in. And heat-wise, it can't manage all of the heat, so it kind of jumps in, opens up, and jumps out. So it is quite heat heavy because it's 16 heat from that, and from the medium pulses, and the ATM is going to have 4 heat. So that's 20 heat from the medium pulses plus 6 heat for jumping, and then another 2 heat if it fired the small pulse laser, which again is there really mainly as an anti-infantry idea. So I think this is something I definitely want to meet in a scouting mission, and that's a clan OmniMech then. So I think we're almost to the end of this series. So we've made the basic intro tech, we've made the standard tech, we've made the standard tech 3050 and the advanced tech 3067. We've made a Liao variant, and the only thing we've got left to do, I think, is just to do a Innosphere Mixtech upgrade version, which is very easy to do, and that'll be a very quick video. Till next time.